First world problems. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Ned over My Philippine Dreams. Hope everybody is doing well. For my viewers in the United States, happy Veterans Day. Life in the Philippines can sometimes be a bit of a challenge for foreign expats. If you've spent any amount of time living here or even visiting for a long term, you'll know what I'm talking about. Whether it be simply trying to go shopping and having things out of stock, trying to process marriage or birth certificates, trying to get through traffic, driving through clouds of noxious garbage smoke, or simply dealing with the heat, sometimes life here can be a bit of a challenge. Now, for the guy in the video that you're about to see, he really had a bad day. Sometimes things will stack up here, and sometimes I'll be going out and doing missions and doing my list of errands. I'll get about halfway, 3/4 of the way, sometimes I'm lucky, and I'll finally just have to give up because it all becomes a bit too much. I get a little overwhelmed, a little stressed out, and I beat a hasty retreat back to my domicile, go to my room, turn off the lights, turn on the air conditioning, curl up into a ball, and cry myself to sleep. But for this guy, for this special circumstance, this really takes the cake, and I don't know, honestly, how I would have responded to this. In the case at hand in the video you're about to see, a gentleman who claims to have a new car goes to a Petron station, which is a gas station. It's a huge chain here in the Philippines. They're all over the place. His car takes unleaded gasoline, and somehow along the way, the attendant accidentally puts diesel into it. Now, I haven't been paying much attention, and I probably should, because I know in the United States you can't accidentally put diesel into a petrol car because the nozzles actually have different diameters. The diesel nozzle is actually wider than the petrol, so that you physically cannot even put the nozzle into a car that's intended for gasoline. So next time I go to the gas station, I'm going to double check to see if the nozzles are actually different diameters. It's on my list of things to do. As of late, it's become a really long list. So I guess at some point the attendant tells the guy that he's accidentally put diesel into his gasoline car, his new gasoline car, which at first he claims was 1.5 million pesos, which is about 30,000 US dollars. And then a little bit later on claims it's about 1 million pesos, which is about 20,000 US dollars. Either way, it's a pain in the ass. Now, in the United States, this wouldn't be a big deal. As long as you haven't turned the car over, as long as you haven't started the car, if you have diesel and a gas or gas and a diesel, as long as you haven't tried to start it and get the injectors or the fuel pumps, involved in this mess, it's not a big deal. The owner of the gas station is usually responsible. They'll have a pump and they'll figure out some way to pump out your gas tank. They'll put in fresh gas or fresh diesel and start it up and you'll be on your way. It's not a big deal. Here in the Philippines, however, again, it can be a little more challenging, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So I'm not sure how this works out. I don't know if it's on the onus responsibility is on you to try to go find a pump, maybe go down to an aquarium supply store and hope they have some big aquarium pumps in stock. I'm not sure really how it works. But all I know is as I was watching this, there was a couple things that you have to keep in mind, okay? The guy's realized that he has diesel in his gasoline car, and he now can't turn on his car to turn on his air conditioning. So a bad situation has just gotten a whole lot worse without air conditioning in your car. First world problems. So without any further ado, let's go to the video, and then I'm going to make some observations and ask some questions afterwards. Here we go. Take it away.
Put diesel in my car because you're not feeling well. You said 91 octane, sir, and then you put diesel in the brand new car, and you don't have the 1.5 million pesos to pay for my car, right? So how could you make a mistake like that? Do you do that all the time?
No, sir. The first time, sir.
Oh, well, the first time because you're probably going to get fired now. You know that, right? And somehow you're going to have to pay me 1 million pesos to replace my car. You understand that, right? Thank you.
All right, so there it is. Now, the first thing I thought of, this was actually posted on a Facebook group pertaining to scams in the Philippines for some reason. I don't think this was a scam. I think this kid just made a mistake. The attendant made a mistake, an expensive mistake, a costly mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. So the first thing I thought of was, when as I was watching this, was the guy's being a little harsh, he's being a little hard, it was a mistake. He's talking about this kid's going to be fired. A couple things you got to keep in mind. I mean, this guy, this attendant, this young man, this dong might be the sole provider for his family. He might be the only one working. And also keep in mind that he's getting about $6 US a day for his work there. And they usually work 6 days a week and basically work all year without vacations. So my first thought was, oh, this guy's being a little harsh, this guy's being a little mean. But then I thought, what happens if it was me? What happens if I was the guy who just realized that my diesel Tucson, which is fairly new and in really good condition, had just received a tank full of gasoline? And then I rewatched the video, and then I realized that this guy really wasn't being too harsh, and he was doing pretty well in keeping control of himself and some modicum of composure. Yeah, it was a little harsh. I felt sorry for the attendant, because he's like, when he got, the guy says you're going to be fired and all this stuff. I can only imagine. Again, you got to look beyond the scenes and understand the dynamics of the society here, where a lot of times there's only one breadwinner for an entire household. So that was my initial reaction. Again, I'm not sure how things work here. I gotta next time I go to the gas station, I'm actually gonna check the nozzles to see if they are different sizes like they are in the United States. And I'm also gonna ask the guys and the gals, the ladies that also work there, have they experienced that and what they would have to do if a situation like that did occur. So my question to you is, after seeing the video and after thinking about this, do you think the guy responded appropriately? Do you think he was too hard on them? Do you think he was too soft? How would you have responded? Because again, for me, it's one thing to see other people's responses and see how they respond to situations emotionally, and then think about how I would actually do that. Because a lot of times I think I would have responded in a far more divisive, far more sarcastic, and far more biting manner. So, as always, feel free to leave your comments down in the comments section. And until next time, puppies, rainbows, and unicorns for everybody. I just actually woke up from my nap, so this might not come out the best. But see you next time. My Philippine dreams. Got to check on the baby. Peace.
Hey, if you consider our work to be of any value, consider supporting us on Patreon. If you're a Patreon, you get a free copy of my ebook, and we do monthly Google Hangouts. So consider doing that, if you would please.